SneakyBox here, back with another video. Today is March 30th, 2022. Means we are just 2 days from of MLB The Show 22. Personally, I'm really excited for this game. I have been practicing on MLB 21. That way, when I stream at SneakyFox23YT, when I stream when the game releases, I won't be as bad. So upcoming, I will have a video on my starter team, video with like tips and tricks on how to start MLB The Show 22, as well as a meme team that I want to build for the players that represent a meme in MLB The Show. So that being said, video. So as you can see here, we have less than a day and a half until we are able to access MLB The Show 22. Currently it is 11:54 a.m. because I am Central Standard Time, so I will be able to access it at 11 p.m. on March 31st. So I did pre-order the Digital Deluxe, which includes, as you can see here, the Diamond Choice Pack, Cover Athlete Diamond Choice Pack, 5 Gold Choice Packs, 25k stubs, which is really important in my case, and I'll get more to that later, 20 Chill Packs, Ball Player Equipment Pack, Cover Athlete Bat Skin, Cover Athlete Profile Banner, as well as double daily login rewards. So, first thing you want to do when you get into the game after you complete the tutorial, go straight to your packs, and you're going to open your pre-order. As you can see here right now, I don't have any show packs, but basically what you're going to be getting is this 20-pack bundle, so you get your 20 show packs as well as the gold. And then what you want to do with this, sell everything. The prices are going to be hugely inflated because it's the release of the game. Everyone's going to want to try and get the collection reward night one or as soon as possible. So they're going to be wanting to pick up these players quick and will be wanting to sell or pick up the cards for higher prices rather than later on during the year, especially those content creators where they put a bunch of money into the game and just try and grind out these collections. That way they can get the first or be the first person to upload gameplay with the collection reward or specific players from these collections. That being said, try and keep a hold of these 90 plus overall players. So like right here, there's less than a sheet of these 90 overalls, and I guarantee you, opening night there will be less. This is mainly due to players just playing better toward the end of the year, so SDS decides to increase the overalls to try and make these players look better and make these players usable during these end games. Now, one reason to keep these 90 plus overalls is because not everyone's going to have access to this game. So the prices are going to start out lower. I think what the examples that I've seen, Trout starts like 200, 250,000 subs, and then as more players get the access to the game coming out April 5th, then you'll see Mike Trout's price start to rise because more people are getting access to the game. There's more stubs in the game, so therefore this demand for Trout is going to make his price keep rising higher and higher, and you get till like late May, early June, and you can see his price rise up to over 600,000 stubs. So you definitely want to keep those 90 overalls either for your collection, or you can sell them later down the line when they're going for more stubs. So I mentioned earlier how the 25k stubs was going to be really beneficial for me early game, and that's because I'm going to be using those stubs to flip and exponentially grow my stub count. So, for example, let's say we're flipping silvers, which is a strategy that I used early on last year. Now let's look for someone with the buy order. Doesn't look like there are because and the game's 2 days away. So let's move on to golds. Okay, let's just say this Logan Webb. We have 9 sellable. So, for example, if I wanted to buy this Logan Webb, I want to put in a buy order. So notice on the right hand side there, the lowest price is $249. So the quick sell value of a gold is 1,000. So I'm going to press this finalize order, and notice how that goes over to the right hand side under the sellable part. That's creating a buy order, and that's basically putting in your order, like what you're willing to pay for example, this Logan Webb. Now, let's just say we have this Logan Webb now, say that buy order went through, and we want to sell it. So we want to make the most profit possible. So we're going to go 1888, which is one less stub than the left-hand side. So finalize the order, and it will go through. One thing to look out for on the transfer market is these small flipping ranges. So, for example, this live series Giancarlo Stanton sells for 5,000 subs quick sell. So, looking at his price right now, sell order 5,500. So right now, one thing you could do if you see these types, buy it straight out and then sell it. Create this sell order. So 74 to 89. So right there, like if this game were still relevant, I would be making 1,200 stubs. So that's definitely one thing to keep your eye out for. And this is going to be one technique, as well as flipping, that I'm going to be using to reach my stub collection goal within the first 2 weeks of 1,500,000. So do I think it's doable? Yes. Do I think it's going to be a grind? Also yes. But I am ready to stick with it. All right, so once you have your players selling on the market, then you can build your team and move on to first off the inning programs. So first of all, we have the 11th inning program, which it's basically the same setup, just it's going to be extended out more. But as you can see here, like you play for XP, and once you get this XP, you get these certain rewards. So you can do that with daily missions, individual missions that the ending program will have. So, for example, 30 total bases with finest Otani, Conquest maps, collections. So, for example, collect Ward Chipper Jones. That's done. I just got 45,000 XP. So, along those lines. And then daily moments are going to be a big thing. So, basically, you complete a moment every day. Earlier in this year, it was it expired after 24 hours. However, later game, SDS made it to where it would expire after 3 days. So if you couldn't get on the game every single day, then you would still have to have time to complete these moments and get these points for this reward. Moving on to Team Affinity, as you can see here, much like the inning program, this is a points-based system in that you complete missions, moments, these conquests, or collections, and you would get points for these team affinities. So, for example, you get this mission done where, like later on the line, you get the 8 strikeouts with veteran Maddox. You get originally 4 points, but they doubled it just so people could catch up. So, for example, if I'm like at 21 points and I get this, now I'm able to get this 2,500 stubs. So that's going to be really beneficial. One thing that a lot of people recommend is doing these exchanges. Personally, early game, this is not the move in my opinion, because you can see, like, for example, these gold 84s or 83s even. So, you know, you're at 50%, but early game they might be selling for close to 2,000, 3,000 stubs. So, like, it's, you just have to weigh it out. Are you willing to spend this money in order to get, you know, these first 5 points where you get unlockables and stuff like that. So it really depends on the player. Depends on how you're making stubs, like how efficiently you are. But personally, I will not do it. One thing that I personally do not do is this March to October. So as you can see here, you can get like anywhere between 4 to 18 team affinity points, but these are longer series games, kind of like a franchise mode. So it just takes more time than, for example, this Conquest or even Showdowns, which I will get into in a bit. So as you can see here, there's single player and online modes that you can play in. Personally, day one, I will stick to the single player modes as my team probably won't be good enough for ranked seasons, and I want to like start grinding single player to make sure that I can get some of these rewards that they have to offer. For example, these conquests. As you can see here, East Affinity, you get Team Affinity program points, packs, hidden stubs, stuff like that. So each conquest, it's basically a game of risk. So you have certain goals here. For example, capture 2 enemy strongholds, steal 5 million fans, etc., etc. So you have four different phases. So the attack, you just put out your fans, and you can skip the steal phase, which basically play a game on different difficulty. The better the difficulty, the more points you get. So after that, you get to reinforce, and then move it, say, from one spot to another, and that's that. You just complete the whole conquest, and you get those points, and get every hidden reward. Now, the USA baseball map, the conquest map, I will release a separate video on strategy and stuff like that once it releases. As you can see here, it's only turn 9 and everything's filled up relatively quickly. So stay tuned for a video on that. As I mentioned earlier, another beneficial game mode for these team affinity points is Showdown. So basically what you do here, let's just say we're doing the run it back, or instead we'll do Team Affinity 1. So I have Team Affinity 1 done, but basically start your draft, pay the fee, and then you prompted 4 players in different rounds. So like I'd take your Don here, and then the next one would probably go with Kyle Lewis, and so on and so forth. Basically draft your team, and then what happens is you face off in different moments. So for example, this one doesn't say, but like it give a prompt. So like I forget who Team Affinity 2 was, but basically you have these blue, which are the mini missions. So like get an extra base hit within 2 innings of gameplay, and so you win this and get the rewards from it. So you get like a run to the final counter, which would be the bottom left, or you would fail and move on. So then these red bosses are what to look out for. So you have to complete this, otherwise your run's over no matter what you do. So for example, with this mini, it's like, say you get the first 3 completed, but then once you fail this, you're done. You have to reset the draft. You have to redo it all. One last mode that I'm going to get into on night 1 will be these moments. So you have player programs, you have the off season, you have of course your daily moments, team affinity, your monthly awards, tops now. So tops now, they will not be out when this game releases because opening day is April 7th. So when we're getting the game April 1st or even April 5th, we won't have moments to do. So that will be once MLB season actually starts. Same with monthly awards. The whole month of April has to pass through before they release any of these moments. Team Affinity, like I mentioned earlier, you can get points for your path there, daily moments, uh, player programs. So, for example, you have, let's just say, this Jeff Bagwell, which I have not completed. It's a set of 6 missions that you have to do. So in a game, you have to tally 4 bases, a home run, or let's say you're doing Shane Bieber, so pitch 2 innings, strike 3 batters out, and stuff like that. So it's just mini missions, and once you get those missions or those moments completed, you can check your progress in the player programs tab here. So, for example, I did this Johnny Damon. So you can see here moments. Oh, that was a bad example because that was an evolution one. So let's go Joe Carter here. As you can see here, moments. I got the 6 missions done. So 6 times 7, 42. And then after that, I ended up doing extra base hits with my first baseman online. However, you can also play that card's team on All-Star. One last thing before the video ends is I mentioned collections earlier. So what are these collections? So for example, we have the Live Series. So last year it was 99 Chipper Jones, and you got this by collecting David Ortiz and Alfonso Soriano, which, for example, this David Ortiz, you needed Goose Gossage, Ricky Henderson, Bob Feller, and basically you need to collect these different players in order to get the better players. So like Jorge Posada, Joe Carter, Lefty Grove, David Price, Jim Palmer. So in this AL East, you need to collect all of, for example, the Oriole Live Series, Red Sox Live Series, Yankees, so on and so forth. So in this Yankees Live Series, you had 3 diamonds, which there were more throughout the season, but once you got all those completed, you got this Jorge Posada, and once you lock that into this AL East, as well as every AL East reward, then you would move on. You'd be able to lock him into David Ortiz and into this Chipper Jones. So I personally would not be trying to get this completed within the first 2 weeks. I'm not going to put myself through that stress. I would like to have it done within the first month, though. So if I'm able to flip and use my market tools, as well as tools and tips from other creators, that will benefit me well. As you can see here, I ended this year with roughly 2 million subs. That's after buying some players straight up, just because I didn't want to wait for different players and their buy orders. Because it's like end of the year, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to use these stubs for anything else. But that is going to be it for me on my day 1 video. I should have another video up later today with my starter squad that I am planning on going for. Now, I don't know overalls, which I'll mention that more later in the video, but yeah, I don't know what overalls are going to be there. I'm trying to do like prediction type as well for these videos, like mainly the next video for like I'm predicting this guy's going to be a gold, or like this diamond is not going to be a diamond come start of 2022. But yep, just stay on the lookout for that. I will have more videos out when I get them recorded. But other than that, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys next time.